Hi guys. Can everybody hear me? I'm gonna stop the music in just a second. Okay, we'll put that back on when we actually start. I hesitate to even call it a project, but it is a project. Um, so the rare and elusive Queen swatching stream, lol. I feel like if you've been if you've been around this channel long enough, or because I know it's come up over in Ryan's streams. Now let me just say I am not anti-swatching. Also, that is incredibly bright. Hold on a second. Let me fix this. Okay, that's a little bit better. But unfortunately, these are gonna pick up some glare. So I'm not anti-swatching. I 100% get um why it's important and why people do it. A bunch of my stuff is actually swatched. I just don't in general find the practice like relaxing to do for myself. Um I will watch other people swatch things. But yeah, I kind of just I'll get a new supply and I will just kind of use it. But I have a project that I am going to be starting hopefully when I come back from my last 2 week annual tour for the Air Force, and once my retirement is official. I basically at this point I'm trying to find things to one be entertaining, continue growing my channel, but also that are relatively like low intensity right now, to uh get through the next couple months, because even though I'm a reservist and I only do my 1 weekend a month and my 2 weeks a year and any other days in there, whatever. Like retirement is like it's stressful. This has been 20 years of my life in some form or fashion, be it when I was doing it full time when I was active duty and then when I transferred over. So, um, it's it's a lot. Um, yeah, once I get through the next few months, between that and you're having a hard time hearing me? Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so let's try that. I bumped the gain up a little bit. Like I'm not quite sure what else I can do, cuz if I bump it up too much more, I'm afraid it's going to start to squelch. And I'm like literally eating the microphone at the moment. So hopefully that's better. Cuz yeah, I can let me hold on. Let me try something else. Okay, I'm gonna move this over here for a moment. Um, just because I don't really need to see the video, but now that I have this on my other monitor, man, it is really like I don't touch this between streams, and yeah, because I'm in the high green, like mid yellow, so that's about, I think, all I am going to be able to do with it. But I'll have to keep an eye on it, I guess, when I am actually like doing the swatching. I don't understand how it changes in between when I don't do anything to my settings. I just shut my computer off. Oh, thank you for the kind comments, Elise. I appreciate it, but you don't have to you don't have to do that. I'm just a person who volunteered to do a job. So, but anyway, so yeah, there's a lot that goes into, the planning of it and the making sure everything is like um set and good to go. And obviously it's going to change some things with my health insurance. Me, I'm not so worried about, but obviously my kid. um so yeah, it's been a little bit to deal with, on top of the health crap and whatnot. So um but for this project that I have planned, I do have some specific like criteria and supplies that I'm looking for. So swatching what I have will help me decide what I would like to be able to use. So we did the Artex stream before last, so 2 weeks ago, the dual brush pens, and I actually am in the process of recording a swatching video with those that I hope to have out um later this week. A pretty quick project, just something a little bit more condensed on those, and kind of reiterating something of a little bit of what we talked about in the stream for that. And so this was the next one on my list, and right now I have two more. I have a set from Shuttle Arts that I'm in the process of prepping, and a set from some kind of like nondescript brand that I found on Amazon that I will also be doing. And I think I'm going to like alternate them. So I'll do one in a live, and then one as a video. And they'll be on the channel in a playlist called the Paint Pen Project. So you'll be able to see the lives and whatever I end up doing for videos for those. I also have some just regular paint, some acrylic gouache that I need to swatch, so that might come out later, at the end of the month, because I have some projects that I'm going to be doing for one is a collab with a fellow YouTube creator and a colleague from work, and then the other ones are just some things that I have planned for fall and winter. So let's talk about these before we start swatching these, and then we'll play with them a little bit at the end. I don't know if we will start a full project or anything like that. But I do want to share a little bit about these because I was confused when, let me try and get these all in here so we can see all of them. I was a little confused when I first found these. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with Tooli-Arts. They have a huge number of I think they're up to like 400 something colors of paint pens, and they started out with, I believe, like the fine tip, which I don't have on my desk, but I do have some of the ones that you have to like shake and pump, that have that harder tip on them. And they have really like built up their product line quite a bit. They have now these brush pens. They have a medium nib that they're starting to roll out in different different formulas. And so this was where I was a little confused. So first I found this. This is the 36 Essential Acrylic Brush Pens. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I started looking to see if they had them in any other colors, because usually what they'll do is they'll have kind of a general set like this, and then they will also have separate color based sets. So then I found the blue and the green, and I thought, oh, that's great. This will be a huge, selection for my upcoming project. And then I started poking around on the website because I noticed in some of the marketing, the promotional materials for these, that there were pictures of a set of reds and pinks and a set of like yellows and earthier tones and a set of grays in the brush. And so I went looking for those and I couldn't find them. So I actually reached out to Tooli-Arts and asked if those were going to be coming out later, if this was like, because I believe they first released these in January-ish. So I wasn't sure if it was like a slow rollout and, we would be seeing those later. And they replied back and said that currently they have those colored sets in the Pro color series, but that they're sold out. So I hopped on the website, and this is where it kind of gets confusing. So they have a Pro series line, an Essential series line. They have some specialty colors. And then they have the acrylic brush pens, and there's cross flow apparently between them. So I went to the Pro Color series looking for the reds, yellows, and grays, and I couldn't find them in the brush tip there. They have them in the medium tip, and those were the ones that they said were sold out. So it kind of made me wonder what the difference was. And So when I got these, I've actually played a little bit with these, and there are definitely some differences in the formulas between these. So there's the essential set, and then the blues and the greens are part of this Pro Color series. And I'll show you guys this. These aren't all from this series. This was just me kind of like scribbling around. And so this right here, if we can get in close enough, is a couple of the purple pens from the one of the Pro Color, the blue right here. And at least on this paper, this is just one of my little ELO sketchbooks. It was very difficult to blend these, and at first I thought the nib was falling apart. It got really like clumpy and scratchy, and it was just really like not pleasant to work with. This, however, is two of the pens from the Essential Acrylic Brush Pen set. And as you can see, it's a much smoother finish, and I was actually able to blend my two colors together. So if you are thinking of purchasing these, keep that in mind, that despite the fact that these all say water-based, opaque ink, quick drying, multi-surface, and from everything that is listed on the boxes, on the website, that these are, they're essentially the same product. Let's go ahead and crack into these here, and I'll show you guys. I'll just grab one pen so I don't have a bajillion out on my desk at once. So I'll grab a pen from each set. They are, from just like looks, the exact same, you would assume the exact same pen. The brushes are the same. There's nothing about these that would indicate that they're different. But they definitely behave different. And you know, to keep them from getting mixed up, they do say on them, hopefully, I think. Yeah, they do have an indicator on them, so you can tell the P is part of the Pro Color series and the E is part of the Essential Color series. So I might, as I play with these, reach back out to Tooli and just kind of, you know, ask like what's the difference between the formulas in these, because my results were pretty different, and that's fairly thick paper in that sketchbook, so if it behaves like that in a sketchbook, I'm definitely curious to see what they do on coloring paper. So let's go ahead and jump into this, and we're gonna do the essential set first. Yeah, so we'll start with this, and this is just a 60 count swatch sheet I got for like $1 on Etsy. There's a link to the shop in the description. Now, I started out, I was gonna color half of each of the box black because I don't have black paper and I wanted to see how it behaved. And about partway through, I was like, yeah, this is gonna take forever. And I don't really want to do this, and my hand had started to hurt, so I ended up just doing black, like a black line, so we can kind of see what the opacity looks like on these. And I think this one is I used just a black Prismacolor pencil, and then on the other one I used a Micron pen, so we'll be able to see that. I'm going to do the essentials and the blues on one sheet and then the greens on another, just for the sake of saving paper. So let me go ahead and empty these out. I wish I had a little tray to put these in because they're going to be all over my desk. Oh, that's a lot of pens. The other thing with this set, with the essentials set, one, no pumping, just uncap and paint, which is great. You don't need to shake them or anything like that. This set also comes with 2 blacks and 2 whites, so you have extra black and white pens. Obviously, I am only going to swatch those once. Yeah, so, and I know when the Toolies first came out, there was no numbering system on some of them. These have numbers on the caps, and there's a little like mini kind of swatch sheet on the back, so they do have names and they do have numbers. Hi Sonia, how are you? Looking forward to seeing these swatched out. Yeah, I'm kind of going to attempt to sort them out here by some kind of color family just to make it easier so I'm not jumping all over the place. So there's one. I should have done this before I started, but it's fine. It's fine. Hi Pam, how are you? Howdy, howdy. There's no like expectation, like you have a child and a life. So, and plus I put my thumbnail out like what, an hour and a half ago. I've been incredibly lazy with with making my thumbnails at like the last minute, so it's since I started making them myself, it's a bit of a process. Okay, 13, 14, 15, 16. Just forgot what the time was. Nah, you're good. Yeah, I like there's no expectation like, oh my god, you gotta be here at exactly the time I start. Rah. But I appreciate you. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate you. I did not sort these ahead of time, but at least they have numbers on them. One of the sets that I am prepping does not have numbers or names or even any kind of like a little chart on the back of the box. You must be 9. 8, where are you? There you are. 8. Let's see. Do you want to see these markers? Like, look at them, your brain just glitched for a minute. I got you. There's an angry cat yelling outside my office. 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh man, I need to find that t-shirt. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I like the fact that this set has some like colors we can use for skin tones in it. 19. 20, 21, 22. Oh, they're rolling all over my desk. Did we skip some numbers here? What is the 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. $23, 24. Yeah. Oh man. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay. All right. 32 down there. And then I've got, like I said, it comes with 2 whites and 2 blacks. So we'll do those at the end. So we're going to start with, see if I can get us a little closer here. Oh, please don't go behind there. No, 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 no. Oh no. Son of a... Well, this is going splendidly. I was trying to keep it from rolling off the back of my desk. And also open the box so I can just put them back in the box after I swatch them. Good lord. This is a travesty. Good thing I don't do this for a living, lol. Okay, now we're actually going to start the swatching. So, this starts out with like the turquoises. So our first marker is turquoise. I'm curious if that's picking up the pencil. Because if it is picking up the pencil, that is something to note. Okay, so right off the bat, and this is a Prismacolor. I'm actually glad now that I did some of these with Prismacolor and some of them with something different, and we might be able to see that with a lighter color a little bit more, because that I feel like is going to impact whether or not we'll use them over colored pencils, because I know that some of y'all are probably going to want to use these for details. So this was just me cleaning the pen off, and I believe that it did pick up some of the Prismacolor. Now, it may behave different. They may behave differently with like an oil base colored pencil. So before you commit to using these on a page, I would test them out on like a scrap sheet of paper with whatever pencil you're using. Although this one, I hadn't even touched the... Oh, that's weird. So that actually, I changed the angle of the pen, and it came out lighter. That's weird. Confusion. Yeah, I would, either way, I would, you know, I would see how they behave over whatever pencil you plan to use them with. Yeah, that's weird. I no, it looks a little shiny, but that's just because the paint is wet. They do dry fairly quickly. All right, we'll give that a minute. Now, this is just a standard cardstock. I don't know what the brand is, because unfortunately when I moved some things around in my office the last time, some of my paper came out of its little like sleeves and it got mixed up, so apologies for that. I can't tell you what paper I'm swatching on. But yeah, these just look like, I don't know if this is just because there is a lot of pen like or paint primed in the tip of the pen. Or it's possible these might have also been the two that oh my gosh, you guys. These might have been the two greens that I pulled out the other day and tested, so that might be why this one was lighter and this one looked darker, because I was trying to mix them in my sketchbook and just forgot what colors I was using. But yeah, it is definitely picking up the pencil. They are pretty colors, though. And on this paper, it is taking them a bit to dry. Yeah, it's picking up the Prismacolor. So this is Spring Lemon. Next we have, this is Sunburst Yellow. I abbreviated some of these, so... And I don't want to go too much into the pencil now that I know that my markers are picking that up. Some of these are definitely more opaque than others that were just pretty opaque on the white there. Next we have, this is Scarlet Red. And next we have Wine Red. So that's pretty opaque over the black, and interestingly enough, this marker didn't pick up a bunch of the pencil. So that's interesting. And next we have Vivid Pink. Whoa, that is a very neon pink. So I will say, just from like my initial playing around the other day, these are not as opaque as the blues and the greens, the ones in the Pro series, but we'll see how those handle. Now it's the pale pink. Now we've got pastel violet. And again, no shaking, no pumping, which was a selling point for me. Next we have Light Violet. These nibs are fairly soft. I'm trying to think if I have anything else that that it reminds me of. And they did send, you get extra nibs with all the Tooli markers, and they sell extra nibs on their website. So next we have Violet. And now we're getting into the blues in this set. I keep looking at the marker, so the only identifier is on the cap. And then it's got the series it belongs to, but there's no name or number on the body of the marker. So this one, this is Indian Blue, is pretty opaque and did pretty well over the pencil there. Next we have Sky Blue. And Baby Blue. So you can kind of like push the paint around a little bit, like if you get it too globby, but I would be careful doing that because Depending on what paper you're using, it might go through your paper. So I would suggest finding like a page that you don't care about, whatever book you're in, or like, you know, if there's a medium test page or something like that, find an inconspicuous spot to see how these behave in your particular book and how many layers you can get before it'll start to go through. That was spruce green, another pretty opaque looking color. And next we have walnut. It's it's interesting too because since I've been playing around with paint, this looks like when it goes down and when it dries, it looks a lot more like acrylic gouache with that matte finish than it does acrylic paint. So next we have putty. So I feel like the swatching of these is going to go pretty quick. And next we have, this is 21, light cream. Yeah, so they start out a little darker, like right off the bat the first time you use them, but again, that just might be paint um that it has kind of pooled in the tip. So next, this says pale yellow is the color name on this one, but I feel like that's more of a greige than something in the yellow family. So now there are a couple metallics in this set, so we have gold. It's just so weird because that it comes out like almost like a bronze at first. And honestly, I feel like this looks more like a bronze than a gold. Now we have light gray. And dark gray. Yeah, that's weird. It came out almost black to start, and then you go back over it, and that definitely wasn't the pencil on that one. They're interesting. Next we have silver. So this one came out very like watery. And now we have, this is 27, midnight gray. And now we have dark forest. That's a pretty green. And now we have night blue. Well, I like that. I don't know why they didn't do like all of the blues together. I'm curious as to like what the thought process was with how they grouped some of these. So now we have Crimson Red. That is definitely an opaque color. Look really juicy. Some of them are like, I haven't had any yet that feel like dry. Some of them are definitely juicier than others. Let me see. So like this one is still kind of like tacky, but it didn't leave any paint on my finger when I touched it. So next we have Pale Honey. And last of the colors, we have Vanilla Almond. And I'm gonna leave that because I'm curious to see like if I come back and use that like on something else, if it does the same thing like every time, like if I let the marker sit, or if that's almost like when you get a new set of colored pencils, they have that like I don't know what like that film. It's just kind of an initial. That's interesting. So next we have the white. And so the white in this set is definitely, if you wanted to like to use this to cover things up, you would probably need more than one coat, and I think I probably have some better options for whites if that's what you're looking to do with it. Because over top of colored pencil, it didn't really cover up the colored pencil. And last in this set, we have the black. Now, this one is definitely, I could feel it as soon as I touched the pen to the paper. The black was pretty juicy. And then the last two in this set are just the extra black and white, so I'm not going to swatch those. So that is the 36 count of the essentials. And it's a pretty interesting like spread of colors. We'll play around with it and see how well they mix once we're done actually swatching everything, because I kind of want to see how they behave with each other as well. Like can I cross the streams without like ruining them. I'm curiouser and curiouser. So, but yeah, so that is the essential series, the 36. This is the like the variety pack, I guess. So next, on this same swatch sheet, I'm gonna do the blue series. So there's 22 in the blue series, and these are part of the Pro Color. It's literally the same pen. They look exactly alike, but there's something different about the formula in this one apparently that puts them in a different color series. Yeah, let's try them out. And this does have purples in it, so it's blues and purples. And actually, this one has a little brochure in the box, so so some of these I wasn't able to find on the website, so I don't know if they've discontinued a few of these sets, because I was looking for, well, they have, it says here, a set of dual tip, but again, I'm specifically looking for brush tip. So they've got the essential, they've got the acrylic brush pens, and then over here on the in the Pro series, they should have these listed under the Pro Color series, but they're not on this at all. They have the extra fine and the medium tip ones listed here. They're on the website, obviously, but I'm thinking this is probably an old an old leaflet, but because yeah, on the some of the photos on their website, it shows like there should be a yellow set for these acrylic pens, and okay, so now we gotta organize these so to make it a little easier. You are 9, 7, 4, 5. Oh, wait, that's 1. 2. 3, 4, 5. 6? Where are you? 6? Or are you... Okay, you're 6. 7, 8, 9. 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15. Sixteen, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we've got blues and purples that we're going to swatch next. These on the back of the box have they say like BL in the numbering system, but they're just the numbers on the cap. So all right, so we're gonna start with one ice blue. I'm curious. I want to see if I do this a few times on here, if it will start to pill on this paper like it did in my sketchbook. It kind of feels like the difference between the two different the Artex markers like we talked about. There's something different about the ink in the dual-ended markers versus the ink in the white barrel. So next we have Arctic Blue. Oh, that's a really pretty color. These seem to be handling over top of the pencil a little bit better. It had kind of a funky smell to it when I uncapped it. Next we have Santorini. I don't practice Santorini. Well, if anybody gets the reference on that, we just became best friends. Next we have Aegean Blue. And it kind of did the same thing where it started out really dark, but you can go back over it. We'll see how it dries. Next is 5. This is Seaside Blue. And these are definitely more opaque, I think, than the essentials. So it might not necessarily be good for books with a lot of like detail line work. So next we have, this is Neutral Blue. Oh, hold on just a second. Sorry, my phone was apparently bling blinging. Okay, next we have 7 Azure Blue. And these are definitely behaving differently on this paper than they were on the paper in my sketchbook, so. Next is Prussian Blue. Now we have Hawaiian Blue. And we have royal blue. Indigo. Oh, I like that color. We know how I feel about indigo. And next we have zenith blue. These are handling the pencil a lot better. So these might be an option if you want to go like over top of things for like detail work, but there's no white in this set in the Pro Color series brush pens. So next we have, this is Egyptian blue. And now we have navy. Ooh, that one's pretty juicy. Oh hey, look, periwinkle. Which was the one? Was it the zenith blue I said looked like a periwinkle? I can't remember. This looks more like a pale lilac to me than a periwinkle. Oh, there's one stuck in the bottom of the box. Sir, you are preventing your brothers and sisters from returning home. There we go. Now we have purple sage. And berry blue. Those two, the navy and the berry blue, are pretty similar, except for this has a bit more of a purple. The navy has a bit more of a purple undertone, it looks like. Yeah, these are really pretty. I need to find something to do with them. Next we have hydrangea. These are definitely more opaque than yeah, the essentials. This is wisteria. And we have lilac. So this was one of the ones that I was testing out in my sketchbook, and it almost looks like the brush tip started to fray. I don't know if the camera will focus on it, but yeah, this was one of the ones that I was kind of concerned about. And next we have mauve. And last in the blue series, we have grape. Okay, so that is the blues. Sorry, I'm trying. Was it the Etcher sketchbook that made the tip right? No, it was I'm not exactly sure if it was so much that the tip was fraying, or if it was just the paint was starting to if the paint just dried really quick in the sketchbook, and then I was going over it, so it was like pilling the paint. But it was just one of my little like ELO sketchbooks. Like right here, you can kind of see the paint just started to like chunk up. But once we swatch the greens, I'll take a bit of a break, and I will try and find I might grab a couple different sketchbooks and a book, and we will see what we can do. I'm gonna zoom out so we can look at the whole sheet here. So starting from here to where my black line is, to the black, this is the essential set. And from ice blue down to grape, this is the pro color blue set. And you can definitely see that the pro color set are more opaque than the essential set. But then even within the two sets, there are definitely some colors that are more opaque than others. So like up here we got pretty good coverage with this wine red over top of the Prismacolor, but then obviously like our vivid pink and our pale pink were not quite as opaque. And then down here we had our ice blue and our lilac, and even our periwinkle that weren't quite as opaque as some of our other colors in this set. Like this grape is really pretty opaque here. So last but not least, and then we'll play around, is going to be the green series. Again, there are 22 markers in this green set, and these are part of the Pro Color series. No white or black in these, so I hope they do come out with a gray set, and that there's a white and a black in that. Oh, and the sorting begins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eight. 9. 10. Okay, we are all sorted on the greens, so let's go ahead and zoom in. Okay, so we're gonna start with ice green. And now on this one, I just used a micron pen to draw a line across my my box. So if these are the same formula as the blue roll color, then now we get to see what they do over top of colored pencil and over top of a micron. So this is ice green. And next we have cyan. Teal green. Mint green. Julep green. Sea turquoise. This is peppermint. Oh, that's a really pretty color. These definitely feel more like paint than the Artex markers I've been using. These almost feel more like acrylic ink. Next we have lawn green. Next we have forest green. That's pretty opaque. I feel like Tooli-Art has a they have a Facebook group, and I joined it because I wanted to see, like, you know, what other people create with these. And they seem to be pretty popular in like the rock painting arena. There was a lot of rock painting going on, which is totally cool. People make just amazing things with painting on rocks. And I guess it's fairly popular because I've noticed a couple of the more popular are brands like I think Arteza has them on their website. You can buy a box of rocks to paint on. So this is deep green. Can see why they'd be popular for rock painting. Yeah, and that might be why the oh, why the brushes on these feel a little firmer. So I feel like if you're coloring on like a more textured surface, that you'd want a little bit firmer of a brush, not as messy as Posca and all that. Posca and I just have never really like meshed well. I know that Posca has some brush like brush paint pens. I have Poscas, but most of the time I use them for detail work, and they're just for those I want more opacity, and I don't feel like I get the opacity that I want out of Poscas. And considering that a lot of people do with Poscas like what I did with my fish with these, like using the Artex pens to do like the eyeballs on my fish, and I liked the results that I got with the Artex better than really anything I've gotten with any of the Poscas that I've used. Next we have Parakeet. Oh, and incidentally, the fish are done. I only did like one coat of varnish on the backs of them. I did 3 on the front where the majority of the design was. I can actually grab those when I take my break, so you guys can see the finished product, because I haven't taken any like final photos of them for Instagram, so I'll grab those and show you guys how they turned out. This is Clover, by the way. Seaweed. Winter melon. Next we have basil. Basil. I'm sure it's pronounced differently in different parts of the world. I definitely feel more like I'm using paint with these. This is bright lime. You know what I think these would be potentially good for is I have a couple of those Disney the paint by number books. I think that these would be good for something like that, where you're working in blocks of color and you want something that's opaque enough to like cover over the numbers. And interestingly enough, since I like when I had started this project, I saw a video pop up in my feed of somebody using acrylic paint pens in one of those books, and I was like, huh. Hi Ryan, how are ya? Welcome, welcome. We're finishing up the swatching, and then when I come back from a quick break, then we'll play around with these and see what we can do. Next we have kiwi. That doesn't look like kiwi. What? I feel like this looks more like kiwi. Unless maybe this is supposed to be like the edge of the kiwi where it meets the rind. Although I'm probably just being too picky. Last two on the swatchings. Next we have sage green. Back in the box. And last but not least, we have cat hair on a swatch sheet. This is crocodile. Ooh. I actually really like this green. It's like an olive green, but not so olive it makes me feel like I'm at work. Okay, let me zoom us back out. Okay, so this is the green set. I'll give you guys a minute to take a look at the color selection as I close the box right in the microphone. And let me bring this one back. Try and get them both in here so we can Okay, so we started over here with the essentials, and then those go up to the black, and then we've got the blues, and then the greens. And there is definitely something different in the formulas in these, and potentially even the brushes. I don't know what it is, if it's just because maybe these are a thinner mixture that it just makes the brushes feel a little bit different. And with these, it actually felt more like I was working with paint. And you can definitely see, especially, so I'm kind of glad that I did at least one set of the pros on the same set as the essentials, because then you can kind of see the differences in just the finish. And these to me feel more like they have a acrylic gouache type finish to them. I mean, they all kind of feel like that, but definitely more of a gouache feel than an acrylic paint feel. And there's definitely a different opacity to the Pro Color Series set versus the Essential set. So I am curious what we might be able to do with these. I'm just trying to think before before I take a quick break and go make myself a cup of coffee, what we want to would I say they are better than the Artex? I like I hesitate. This is part of the reason why I don't normally do like reviews. I would hesitate to say one is better than the other, because I am of the opinion that me saying that these work for me versus another brand might not be how you feel about it, and I don't necessarily think that that makes one better than the other. It just makes them different. And so I'll grab these because I have them on my desk. The dual ended. I can't so much compare these because they're a different composition of whatever paint is in these markers. They behave differently. So for me, it's more about what what would I use these for and what would I use these for. So my current project that I am working on, I want something that is a little less opaque because I would like my line work to show through. So I probably will not use these for that particular project. But I think that these would be really good in, like I mentioned, the Disney like paint or color by numbers books. Those tend to have a really like block color finish. I would use these in something like that, if that makes sense. Because these are definitely not like a bad product at all. It's just about what you want to do with them is going to, did that kind of roundabout answer your question? Hopefully. I'm just like I'm really curious, and like I said, I might reach back out to Thule and say, "Hey, can you can you answer some questions about the differences between the essential brush pens and your pro color, like, because there's something about them that is different, and I don't know. It's interesting. So I I think we might grab one of the Disney books. I'm pretty sure I still have one. So I think that might be what we test these out in. Um and then of course I'll grab a couple different sketchbooks and see um if we can figure out, maybe out of what I have, what sketchbook paper these work best in, because they definitely did not behave the same way on this cardstock than they did with my sketchbook. So clearly paper also has something to do with it. But okay, I'm gonna throw some music back on for you guys. I'm gonna go check on my child and grab a couple things, make myself a cup of coffee, and then I'll come back and we'll play around with these and see what we can get with them. So I will be right back.
so you never know too much about me. Trying to keep you out, cause I love my safe space. The problem is I never looked into my own face. Am I ashamed of myself? Am I afraid of my emotions? Am I ashamed of myself? Am I afraid of my emotions? We let it go, will you hold it aside? It's hard to take the blame, I know
Okay, I'm back. And I have a bunch of stuff. So I grabbed a couple sketchbooks. This is just a US Art Supply mixed media. I don't even remember where I got this from. But mixed media, and I was at one point using it for a swatch book, and then I kind of gave up on largely swatching my stuff. But we're gonna play around with a couple of these pens in that book, and then I grabbed, this is one of the Ohuhu spiral bound sketchbooks, and then I grabbed, oh, I forgot to grab the fish, you guys. Forgot to grab the fish. I'll take a nice photo of the fish and I'll put it up on Instagram and over on the community tab later. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we painted ceramic fish last week and I actually finished them. I was gonna grab them, but I try and keep my break pretty quick so I don't leave you guys hanging. And I forgot to grab them. Then we will mess around in this Kirby book. Just kind of on the beginning, this has become my like test page for these markers for a reason that I can't tell you at the moment. But we'll play around with a couple of them on here and just see, you know, opacity wise, what it does with something that has a whole bunch of line work on it. And then I do have one of the these Disney, the Pixar art therapy books. These are like paint / color by number, so we'll start on one of these and see how these markers fare in something like this. So I'll put the books aside for right now, and let's do the mixed media sketchbook. Oh look, my Prisma swatches that I never use. Oh man. And I was so idealistic. I had big dreams when I made this sketchbook, or when I made this swatch chart, apparently, and then after a while I was like, I'm over this. Oh, hey, look, Tooli-Art Acrylic Paint Markers. Fine and medium tip. Oh, my Arteza Everblend. I don't even have these markers anymore. So this is a 160 GSM 98 pound mixed media paper. It is definitely a toothy kind of paper. So let's do the Tooli-Art. We'll do the essentials first. I'm just gonna grab two that I like. This isn't gonna be like a super extensive testing because that's generally not how I roll, but okay, so it's fairly wet on the paper. It did not bleed through. These are hard to blend on this paper. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right. So one thing that you can do with these is you kind of have to go back and forth. to get a nice gradient. And so far on this paper, it's not killing the paper, which is nice. The essentials definitely blended better in my Elo sketchbook than on this paper. Like, I feel like I'm having to work a little bit harder at this than really I would like. And, you can, like, I would recommend, I totally lost my train of thought. I totally lost my train of thought. Okay, well, I'll circle back to whatever that was if I remember what I was gonna say. Lucy just did a page with the Tooli-Art and the Artex to do a flat illustration. Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, the White Barrel Artex markers behave pretty similar to these. I found them a little more difficult to blend than the dual ended, but I'll show you guys when we get to that book, because that is the book that I have the dragon in, like where I'm at with that one. Totally lost my train of thought. I was gonna do something with this and now I don't remember what it was. Okay, so that is the essentials. So let's try, I'm just gonna grab a couple of the blue set. Let's try... Did she just post that video? Okay, so this is the Pro Color set. The blues. Oh, art supplies are fun, you guys. This is so weird. This is so weird. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this one back out. So this is the Elo sketchbook, and this was the purples that I tested, and this was from the Pro Color series. They were incredibly difficult to blend on this paper, but I got good results with the Essential series in the Elo sketchbook. Now, on this cheap 60 or 160 GSM toothy mixed media paper, I think the Pro Color was easier to blend and performed better than the Essential series. It's true what they say. Paper is everything. Because I like the finish on this better in this book than in this one. So, Pro Color series, Essential series. It's not bad, it just... Huh. Interesting. So... Because the ELO paper is a little bit of a smoother paper. I like this for, like, markers and things like that, like alcohol markers, but it did not enjoy the paint pens. So let me look this up, because I'm curious to see what the weight of my ELO sketchbook is, because it's not printed on. Tiny square ELO sketchbook, where are you? Woohoo! I guess I could just look at my orders, even though I got this, like, forever ago. Lost your train of thought yesterday during the live, too. It's like, I don't know, I just, like, brain dumped. No. Yeah? Yes? Did I not get this sketchbook on Amazon? Pocket small. Okay, I found it. Oh, okay. That took me to a completely different... do they not sell this one anymore? Okay, well, I can't say for certain because it looks like they don't sell this little sketchbook anymore, because it took me to a little spiral bound. If it's if this is the same as, like, the bigger ones, it'd be about I'm gonna say 122-pound paper in this one, and it's less toothy than this US Art Supply sketchbook, so that's interesting. Okay, we're gonna use the same colors. Let's try the Ohuhu. Ohuhu. Woohoo, pixel of lot. Okay, so this is the Ohuhu 200 GSM 120-pound heavyweight spiral bound mixed media. Is this the mixed media? No, this is a marker sketchbook. Ignore the purple. Oh, why? Okay, so now we're gonna use our red and our orange from our essentials. Let's start with the... Ooh, those are feeling nice on this paper. But can we blend? So they're starting on... So this is with the essential set. on the Ohuhu, and they're starting to do that chunky chunky thing that the Pro markers did Elo sketchbook, and I don't know if it is the so it's not the nib. So these don't like this smooth paper, apparently. Let's try the Pro markers. These feel different on this paper. I feel like I have to go pretty far back on this. So neither of these really care for the smooth marker paper. So weird. Okay, so blended all right. And if you let your top layer dry and then try and go back in and put more marker over the top, it's okay. But if you keep trying to put marker down while it's still wet on this paper, it really doesn't like it. And that's both. So apparently these pens like cheap paper. Let me grab a white. I was just curious to see how that would do. So, long and short of these markers is you definitely want to test them out on whatever paper you were planning on using them in. Apparently, they like the toothier paper. Versus the smooth paper. And the Pro series like the toothy paper even better than the Essentials series. And the Essential series, like, this is... But the Essential series markers liked the paper in the Elo sketchbook. These markers are confusing. But yeah, just a couple like really quick like testings in the sketchbooks, because I'd actually like to use them or start using them in a project and see how that goes. Okay, so we're done with the sketchbooks. Oops, sorry, my bad. Okay, so now we are gonna grab the Kirby book that I was working in 2 weeks ago. And I'll show you, so this is the dragon that I was working on. He's not going to completely fit on the screen, but I was using the Artex, the dual markers, dual tip markers on this guy. I really like these markers in these books. Because the detail work still shows through. I mentioned it earlier, but I feel like these are more like an acrylic ink, so they kind of absorb into the paper and preserve some of your line work. That's a whole other, because we're not testing these markers today. We already did that, so there is a live stream of this in the live streams folder, and relatively it should be in the recents, because it was just 2 weeks ago that I did this. But this is kind of what kickstarted this whole project. So, but we're just gonna go to the front of the book. This has become like my tester book. So let's just do our little like swatches that we were doing just up here in the corner of the book. This is the Essential series markers. So they blend okay, but I am getting a little bit of that chunky feeling. And the paint kind of slides around on the paper with these. So let's try the Pro series. And I'm going to try and go over those little dots just so we can see. Yeah, I watched somebody, the next book that we're gonna use. I watched somebody. I'm fairly certain it was a scene from Inside Out in one of the the Disney books. With, and I'm pretty sure it was with some type of paint pen. So okay, so we just did, you know, a quick little like swatch up here. It did not bleed through the paper, and that was with a couple passes back and forth, so that's nice. Definitely, it was still a little wet, so it definitely stays wetter on this paper a little longer, so if you're working on a smoother paper, you're going to want to be like mindful of that. Now, I don't think I will necessarily use these in a Kirby book because I like preserving his line work. But if you have something that doesn't have a lot of that detail work, you could always use one like Cheryl just mentioned that Lucy did Lucy Just Adds Color just did a flat illustration with these. I don't have any colored pencils out on my desk to test it out with, so that might be something that we do like later on. but I'm pretty sure that you could probably do a flat base of color with these and then go over and do your shading with colored pencil. But I think these will work better in more open illustration style of books, because if I just come over here and go over some of this poor little monkey has been like my little test buddy. So yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of your illustration, your line work there with these, especially if you're working with a darker color. I'm just gonna go through and use the blue marker on some of this. This is why I'm not a reviewer. I just don't I don't have it in me to do like all of the totally give the people that enjoy and are really good at doing reviews props. I just don't have the bandwidth for like extensive testing. I am more of a, I'm going to use this in a project and hope that it goes well, and if it doesn't, then I guess I have a challenge on my hands to fix it. So yeah, I probably would not use the Tooli pens in a book like this. And I know, since somebody Lunit said that they were in the market for some acrylic paint pens, I will go back to these, and I would say that if you are looking to do anything like what I showed with the dragon, so far, hands down, if you want to color an entire page with any kind of like acrylic paint, I would absolutely recommend these the Artex, the dual-ended acrylic paint pens. The ones, the newer ones that they've just started coming out with the white barrels, have a similar feel to them as the Toolies. They are much more opaque and a little bit trickier to blend. If you want to keep your line work, and I'll have a video, another video swatching these, because we didn't swatch it, we just colored with them. Hopefully sometime this week. So, but yeah, so that's my test on the Kirby book. So now let's see what we can do with this bad boy. There's a whole series of these books. I think I only have the one right now, because it was like one of those purchases where I watched somebody else work, and I was like, oh, what a cool concept. I'm gonna get one of these books, and then I got it, and I was like, I have no idea what to use in this, because the thought of using pencils just was daunting. I thought they were really cool, but now, I think I might have something that we can use in these books, because like I mentioned earlier when Elise asked if I thought these were better than the Artex, I'm not so much a, like, in comparison, like a better or worse, with some exceptions. I'm more of a different, how can I use. So let's, gosh, I can't even, it's like I don't even know what the image is. Like, I want to pick a page, but I can't tell what they are. So I don't know if there's, oh, okay, so they're in the back of the book. So if you want to pick a page this way, They're all in the back. Oh, I kind of like this one. The book is kind of tall, so I can't fit the whole thing in. I apologize. Stinky Pete! Oh. Do we want to do something? I feel like, you know what? I think we're gonna go with this one because then I can use a bunch of the blues and some of the aquas. So let's find 65. And we'll see how far we get. I am loosely going to pick colors for this because like the page 2 with the monster. I think that's what we're gonna go with. I might not pick the whole color palette for this, but let's bring out the blues and see what we can actually that looks I actually kind of like the dark forest for I know you guys can't really see. Is this book for kids? I mean, maybe. It's a Disney book, but like this is a pretty like complex looking image. I feel like if I was a child, unless I was very like art inclined, I would probably be very like intimidated by this book. There's a whole series of these and it's basically like a color by number. So I'm gonna go with what are you? Are you a dark gray? Okay, so I'm gonna go with 28. 20. I don't know if I want to go with straight black on that or not. I'll go back in after the stream and add this book to the description because I wasn't exactly sure what I was gonna work in if I was gonna get to that uh, when I started the stream. So the book's not listed. I guess I'm gonna go with the baby blue with the 16. It's about as close I think as we're gonna get. Okay, I'm gonna start with these 3 and just kind of see how this behaves. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so this is my 2, my 1, and my 3. So essentially, like I said, this is a color by number book. They make these. There's a whole bunch of these, and they give you a color palette down here at the bottom. And then you can, match up your medium to your colors, and then you have to go through and figure out where they go. So I'm going to start with my 1, which I picked as a dark gray. I'm a little scared right now. This is the first time I've worked in this book. So we're just going to take it. And you guys aren't even really going to be able to see what I'm doing. So the line work is really light. I'm hoping that once I get some paint down here, that it will kind of come together. So I think the easiest way to do this is going to be to like outline your blocks and then fill in. And I want to see what it's doing on the other side. It should be okay because I'm not worried about doing a bunch of like layers of the paint. I'm scared, you guys. Let's do some of the so this was probably like a very like indigo blue, which I don't have anything that I felt like would fit that. Oh, this is tedious. Okay, there's a whole bunch of twos in here, so be nice to get enough of the color down on the on this to like see some of the picture. But it's doing a good job not going through the paper. That dried a lot lighter than I thought it was going to. Do I have any threes nearby? So there's a 5 down here I gotta be careful of. Okay, so then I'm gonna go back to my 2. Okay, so oh, I think I got a 0 in there somewhere. So I will say that I think the brush tips on these are a little too, like, fat. For some of these tiny areas, even like choking up on the pen. I'm gonna pick out a purple because so I'm gonna grab one and we're gonna go with the 22 for these purples because I believe I got one of my zeros in here. So ideally, what I should have done is plan this out a little bit better and actually done like a swatch so that I could remember what markers were what. And you gotta be careful because sometimes when they have like wide sections, like making sure that you know where the number is. And then once it dries, I can go back in and do another coat if I want, if I feel like I need to smooth things out. So, yeah, the brush tips are going to be a little tricky for spots like this, but we're going to make it work. So, this is 2. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't recommend this book for kids. Are you all purple? You're an 8. You're a 0. You must be a purple. Nope, nope, you're not. There's an 8 right there. Uh, I just I want to see it come to life. Cuz right now, like, this is kind of stressing me out. We're definitely going to have to go back over that green. I got this tiny little one right here. Okay, check the back of the paper. Looks good. Oh, what are you, tiny little 3? You're a 1. Let me try and see. Okay. Apologize. Like I was not speaking into the microphone. That's why I don't like the paint by number books much. It takes so long until it looks like something. Like seriously, this is like I'm like hunched over my desk right now. This is like it's kind of terrifying and um so I definitely think that the finer tip with the harder like plastic tips would actually probably be better in this book for all of these little like cracks and crevices and whatnot, but apparently I'm a glutton for punishment. It's not for me. Like I just kind of am regretting my life choices a little bit. Like, why did I pick this? But hey, you know what? We're putting these freaking pens to the test. Because really, I just wanted to see like um how it did with like covering up the lines. Because I think that was one of the things that kind of like detracted me from wanting to work in this book was what could I use that was going um to cover up the lines. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. Are you an essentials or a pro? You're an essentials. We haven't gotten to. Okay. Yeah, I definitely should have like done like a swatch sheet of this, but if I had had this planned out like ahead of time, I definitely would have picked my colors ahead of time and had them all like so I knew which one was which, but I don't really like the way that green is drying. Because it's like the gray is very matte, but that green is not behaving. So, tiny 3. Tiny 3. Okay, I'm gonna give him some pupils because maybe that will make me feel a little bit better. Oh no! Okay. Cool. He's got pupils. Then there's a couple 3s up here I can do because I haven't picked a 4 yet, so. There's no number in you. Okay, so, okay. Alright, so you're supposed to be white. That's why. Got it. Got it. I feel like I would probably take colored pencils to this afterwards. Mm-mm. I feel like I'm being a little too like precious with this. Because it's like, if I was legitimately painting this, I probably wouldn't be. Okay, so those are his teeth. Okay, he's kind of starting to look like something. Okay, now we got some ones in here. Oh. Oh my god, I had a moment where I was like, oh, this is gonna be so much fun. I should get another one of these books. And then I started working on it, and that thought went out the window. Because this is about the most, like, unrelaxing thing I think I've colored in a while. Okay, now I need to pick. So we're gonna go with 11. I feel like I'm gonna have to make some creative choices here. Okay, let me flip back and look at. Okay, this is a big chunk here of fives. I think I'm just gonna swap the green because it is more green on this paper than I thought. So before I go any further, yeah, so these dry quite a bit lighter on this paper than on my swatch sheet. I want him to look like a freaking monster before we stop. At least now you can tell it's a monster. Yes, thankfully. Like, he looks like somebody. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. There's been a few moments where my thoughts have gone to tears and violence. But not really, YouTube. Please don't demonetize me. That's a quote from a TV show. No violence here. I kid. But violence is no joking matter. I'm just gonna stop now because the more I talk, the deeper that the deeper I dig myself into that potential. Okay, there's a bunch of 4s in here. Let's try and... Not that 5 in the middle. Oh, it's funny how the eyes and the mouth make it look like a monster, even though there's nothing much else. Yeah, I know, right? But, like, this, like, I feel a little bit better about it. Just, like, seeing that the stress of this is leading to something. Like, I feel like if I'm going to continue to work in these books, which I want to, I mean, I bought the book, I'm going to need to watch some videos from some people who are probably really good at working in these books for like tips and tricks. Because seriously, like I didn't watch the video and I can't remember who it was that that shared it, but the whoever it was that did the in and out characters in one of these books, like it was gorgeous. Like they did a phenomenal job on it, so I need to find their video and watch it at some point. There is a whole bunch of, and we're going like way up here. Okay, I can just outline this whole section because this is all 4s in here. Except for right around his eyeball. Hi, Yana. How are ya? Welcome, welcome. How's your day going, Yana? Let's see, hold on. Doing okay trying to sort in packs. We can leave Friday for Native American Sundays, 10 days camping. Oh, that sounds fun. Wendy from Wendy's Coloring here on YouTube has found each of the Tooli-Art Acrylic paint pens only lasts her 10 times for coloring. Interesting. Including the brush pens, because I'm using the brush pens, and these have only been out for a few months. I guess I'll have to go look for Wendy's video. Just got injections in your hands, was told to consider joint replacement in your thumb joints this winter. Ooh. Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that. I didn't even know they did joint replacement on, like, I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't if they do it for other... I didn't even know that was an option for thumbs. Was told it's not gonna get better and surgery and I need my thumbs. Yeah, that's that's fair. Holy crap, you guys, he's looking like a monster. And not just a like blotchy hot mess. It's like we're hitting that point where it's almost making the the trauma of this worth it. Are you a 5 or a 6? You're a 6, and I haven't picked a 6 yet. And I don't know if I have a darker... I may have to tap into another set of, like, paint pens, or make some creative choices, because I don't know if I have a darker blue than what I've already used. He's looking like a cute monster. Yeah, I know. And, like, looking at the back of the book, like the preview pages, it's got that painterly blocky look, but it's just so difficult when it just feels like it's not coming together. Like, it takes a while. And these definitely are not the right markers for this, the type of marker, yes. I think paint pens are absolutely the way to go for this type of book. But I would go with something, with a finer point on them. But I'm confident, like, I can make it work. I think some of it is just gonna be, I'll have to work on it off camera, where I can get in over top of it and do some blending of like edges and things like that. because I know there's some white space that I missed just because I can't get in there. And there's also a couple spots where I think I will probably have to go back and reference to see if they're supposed to be white. I don't see a number here, so I'm not sure if that's supposed to be white or not. But I see a lot of 5s here, so I'm going to switch to my 5. I have to find one of Winnie's earlier haul videos on her channel. I'll have to look. But I mean, if it's an older video, then it probably doesn't include the pens that I'm working with today. So like I said, these I think have just come out within the last like 6 months or so. And they've made some changes to their formula, I believe. These are definitely different than the because I have some of the older pens, and these are definitely different. But I would like to try and at least finish this little chunk before I stop for today. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be... I'll have to look. I think that's supposed to be a 5. Would make sense. And then I am going to go in with the white paint pen on these just to get rid of the little like separation line here. See, now I'm kind of like locked in. It's like I need to stop. I Part of me wants to stop, but then there's also part of me that just wants to just want to keep going because now he's starting to look like something. Oh, I feel like I'm kind of in the groove now. Oh, hold on just a second. I just had to text my kiddo because we're supposed to go refill our propane tank today. And I need him to come with me, so just letting him know that I'm wrapping things up and I will be ready to go in like 15 to 20 minutes. Just gonna clean some of this up. Now that I have an idea of like a basic shape, I think it will make things easier to clean up. I am gonna grab a white and let me look at my reference photo. Okay, that is supposed to be I guess I need to get back to doing what needs to get done. Thanks for stopping in, Yana. I hope that your retreat is a good time, and hopefully everything works out with your hands as well. Ah, okay. Yeah, that is a good place, I think, for me to put a pin in things as I sit here and fiddle with it. Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to clean up some edges. God, I've spent the past like however long like complaining about how stressful this this page has been, and now I can't stop. Let me look at the back. Okay, and it did really good even with a couple layers on spots. It didn't bleed through the page. So that's good. Um yeah, so I think that's going to be it for me today. So that I can go run some errands, and also from like hunching over my desk like this and trying to be careful, it's actually my shoulders actually hurt. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I don't usually do swatching, but there's gonna be some more swatching uh to come. And we played around in a couple different books, so I hope you guys found it useful. I know paint pens are the bane of most colorists' existence. A lot of times they're either not opaque enough or too opaque. So it's been fun, getting a chance to play with these. So thank you guys. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.